My name is Greg Apodaca, and I'm the Chief Explorer of Community 3.0X, our community for people who understand that the climate challenges that we're facing are urgent and that we're in uncharted waters because we've never had to save the planet for humanity before, and so hence my title, Chief Explorer. So welcome to our 5th Green Economy Conference. It's our 2nd unconference as well. Unconference because business as usual is not going to cut it, and to acknowledge that, this conference will be as much a personal growth seminar as it is business conference. We'll be talking about today about the future. Yesterday we talked about the current reality and brought you folks, those of you who are in the room, up to speed on conscious investing and nature and indigenous wisdom. Lots of different topics, technology like augmented reality, virtual reality, extended reality, and merging all those together because we need that kind of a holistic approach to solutions for the planet. So, who was in the room yesterday? And I want to take just 2 or 3 shares quickly. If you had some kind of an aha moment or something that was impactful to your heart, an emotional thing, not just, oh, it's cool that I learned about whatever. And if you want to also use and take some action to change your life, that's the kind of shares we want to take, and I'll take 3 of those just briefly. Anybody in the room want to share? Go ahead, Athena. Do we have a mic back there?
I can also talk really loudly.
Okay.
Sorry, we want you on the video. Yeah.
And your name and organization, please.
My name is Athena Demos, and I am from Big Rock Creative and the Burner Sphere. A takeaway for me happened right in the morning. It was the reframing that you did about that our economy is our home, and our ecology is the world around that. And just reframing that and thinking about it differently gave me a different perspective. And I always like adjusting and changing my perspective. So that set the tone for the entire day.
Very cool. Thanks so much.
Hi, I'm Annie Goeke with Earth Rights Institute. Yeah, I mean, the whole day was inspiring, and all the people here are just, you know, the heart-based and the ideas and all that stuff. But really, the ceremony at the end, the healing ceremony, oh my God, by Florina, was, yeah, that was so powerful. And for me, it was, I love the earth, and please forgive me, and I'm sorry. So, wow, it was, and of course everybody, but yeah,
Thanks, Anne.
thank you so
Hi,
much.
my name is Yehuda. I'm with the Soul Builders. Yes, to add to what you just said, it's still vibrating. Yesterday still vibrates and echoes in me and out. And I just wish, and I have a prayer inside of me that, you know, everything that we heard yesterday is how to create the solution out there. And I wish that we also be focused and put our eyes in and how we can create the solution from inside and out, and how to really feel the oneness, and how to reprogram the individualism, separation, all that, because it's not really exist, the solution. So once we'll be able how to have the harmony inside of us, we'll be in harmony with the earth. So thank you for that, because that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll give you $20 later for that segue.
Hi, my name is Yehuda. I'm with the Soul Builders. Yes, to add to what you just said, it's still vibrating. Yesterday still vibrates and echoes in me and out.
Our organization, Community 3.0X, recognizes that we occupy land originally and still inhabited and cared for by the Tongva, and Tatamian and Serrano, Kizh, and Chumash peoples. We honor and pay respect to their elders and descendants, past, present, and emerging, as they continue their stewardship of these lands and waters. We acknowledge that settler colonization resulted in land seizure, disease, subjugation, slavery, relocation, broken promises, genocide, and multi-generational trauma. This acknowledgement demonstrates our responsibility and commitment to truth, healing, and reconciliation, and to elevating the stories, culture, and community of the original inhabitants of LA County. We're grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these ancestral lands. We're dedicated to growing and sustaining relationships with Native people and local tribal governments and those around the world, including the Fernandeño Tatavian Band of Mission Indians, the Gabrielino Tongva Indians of California Tribal Council, the Gabrielino Tongva San Gabriel Band of Mission Indians, Gabrielino Band of Mission Indians in the Kizh Nation, San Manuel Band of Mission Indians, and the San Fernando Band of Mission Indians. Please keep that in mind. We're going to switch reels a little bit here and talk about movies. Jon Amiel is a new friend within, I guess, about the last 9 months, but it seems like we're kind of blood brothers in some way. He keeps making jokes that I don't laugh at, and I make jokes that he doesn't laugh at. And I think that's what we have in common. But what better person to help us understand about the world we must create and solving humanity's greatest challenges than a film director and storyteller? Jon is a BAFTA nomination. That's like a British Oscar nomination for the Singing Detective TV series. How cool is that? Graduated from Cambridge University. I never would have guessed that. And ran the Oxford and Cambridge Shakespeare Company. Wow. You never mentioned that before. Are you right? That was a while back. So let's welcome up Jon Amiel and a panel that he'll introduce.
Let's just bring our panel up and they can introduce themselves. Yeah? You want this or sure. Whatever you want. Okay. Annie, come on up. All right. Good morning. So I'm going to ask each of us to introduce ourselves. We have one more panelist, Josh, I believe, is in the parking lot. He'll be joining us momentarily. Thank you, Greg, for that lovely. Actually, I don't laugh. He does laugh at my jokes. But anyway. So yeah, very briefly, I'm a film and TV director. And I guess the reason I'm here is because I've grown somewhat weary of the somewhat masturbatory nature of the work in film and television. So much of it is inwardly referential. And the twin scourges of Donald Trump and the fires really tempered my resolve. To me, it became apparent that it's no longer a time to look inward, but to look outwards, a time not so much for self-reflection as for action. And so, with some prompting from my friend Greg here, I've been working on a protocol to amplify and unify the very disparate voices working in our field, and with the hope that we can find a way to really galvanize global consumer action, mostly against the big fossil fuel entities. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'd like each of you to introduce yourselves. Annie, do you want to go next?
Yes. Good morning, everybody. As I said earlier, from yesterday's program was amazing, and I'm just so honored to be here. And thank you so much, Greg and Nikki, for inviting me. I would also like to take maybe just 10 seconds of us bringing peace into the world, because right now we do know there are so many countries around this world that are in incredible conflict, and let's just bring that peace in, because being a peace activist, it's hard to take. So, I always find it very challenging to summarize who I am, because I've done a lot of different things in my life. I'm getting there. I'm 70 years old, and I have 2 grandsons. But, at the core, I call myself an ecofeminist. I've been a lifelong activist across the political, the environmental, the peace, and community spaces. I have been guided by the simple yet powerful motto, think globally, act locally. That's, what I have been doing for decades. I've lived in many countries. I became a student of life at an early age. And my activism grew with hands-on experience. I'm not the academic, but I'm the person who's actually been and seen and rolled up my sleeves and been part of various things, listening deeply to the earth and to the communities that are on the front line. One of my fames is I was the co-founder of the Green Party of the United States. I spent 18 years helping build that party, as well as, and to me this was more important, was build a coordination of the global Greens, of all the Green parties around the world. And currently we have 100 countries that have a bona fide Green Party.
Yeah, what about that?
You. So we are the largest political movement out there, and it's a green movement. So if you're going somewhere, let me know, because I can introduce you to the most amazing people, because it's the green agenda. It's everything we're talking about here today. But besides that, I have a nonprofit called Earth Rights Institute. I've been an international consultant. I've helped advocate, promote, initiate eco-villages. I have partners in many, many different countries, and it's been a very enriching life of working from the UN down to working directly with community leaders in villages around the world. But one of the things that I found, because I'm an activist, what has ignited me, the passion in me, was this understanding of bringing earth spirituality into myself. Seeing the world as interconnected, as a whole, where every life and landscape carries meaning. The understanding became the compass for everything that followed. So for me, my global consulting to my grassroots work to where I stand today, stepping into my elderhood, all comes from that deep self and understanding. And so we're now living at a pivotal moment, and I feel and I see that Mother Earth is retracting, pulling away from us. She's offering less and less for our survival as we extract, exploit, overpopulate, and wage wars. Bioregions are breaking down, species are vanishing, and it's not just system crisis, it's a spiritual crisis. So where do we go from here? And I believe we need to change our lens. Open our hearts and truly see the earth again, not as a resource only, but as a sacred mother. And we can learn to listen to her wisdom, her cycles, her silence. She will guide us. I know that if we can stand still, if we can walk in the woods and listen to the trees and listen to nature, we will continue to find solutions, innovative solutions. So the vision for tomorrow, which I believe is already emerging, is to really change that image of the future of what tomorrow can be. So I've been one that says, let's erase and replace Dubai, for instance. Let's create eco-living cities where we're in harmony with nature, where we, have this share economy, where we bring in circular economies, waste is dealt with, we decentralize our systems so that we can bring, ideas that work for us and for everybody, as well as for the land. So, from green jobs to local food systems to eco-entrepreneurs and things like that, that is what I've been about. So I've done it locally, I've done it nationally, I've done it globally. And, I know my time is running out.
Yes, it
Okay.
definitely is.
So-
We've got a lot to talk
Yes,
about.
okay, sorry.
And all you needed to do is introduce yourself.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We got
Okay.
much to discuss.
I'm very sorry.
No, please.
Yes.
Hello.
All right, thank you, Annie.
Okay,
Anyway.
okay.